3, 4. I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Then go back in the closet after the storm. No, I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. I'm not your impression of a city wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. And I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. I am not a witness here to call you in for the things that you done or that thing that you did. And I'm not the shadow of anyone you've been. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
Hey Honeybunches, I was just doing my daily calm and I was trying to deep breathe out some anxiety. It's a really windy day. It's 27 degrees Celsius, it's the second day of spring, but this is just summer situation. Probably a bit dressed. Merlin's been feeling the effects. The warmth definitely affecting his much larger non-puppy, more surface area, more going on inside, black-haired bod. And then he's far more lethargic. I'm feeling lethargic and yeah, just the windy, gusty day combined with a myriad of other factors. Don't need to tell you my life story. But point being, I'm just feeling a bit of anxiety, trying to breathe through it. And then I get a call and I'm like, oh, should I answer this? And I did. And I think part of the jitters were like, the people who I'm making dinner for again this week gonna like it. Putting too much pressure on myself. Anyway, the call was from a family friend who I made, what was it? It was a chai carrot cake with a lemon lavender icing. I've been doing a lot of birthday cakes recently and have to say I think I've been getting better. And she was just ringing to say that it was the best cake her and her fam had ever. So that's a boost. I would love to share all I'm learning and all I've learnt in the cake making department. I used to find it really stressy, and I still do because like they're a bit more of a statement item and there's nowhere to hide. But I'm reaching a point now where I know enough and I'm confident enough that I can like put a bit of my own style into them. So I kind of look forward to the blank canvas opportune and weaving flavours in like lavender and Earl Grey, chai, giving them a bit more of like a level up with spices with more and herbs with your more traditional flavors, and adding little special notes like a little walnut cream in the middle. Feels more like a personal stamp. It's Thursday afternoon though. This morning I packaged up a lot of Etsy orders. Thank you so much if you've purchased something. As you saw, I've like purchased some new mailers, which are obviously being all cardboard, fully recyclable. They're kind of like the ones that you often get books sent in, and they keep things quite rigid and straight and protected. Now that I've made some of my own stickers, and I have like a few extra little fun goodies to put in orders, again similar to the cake situation, I feel like they reflect me a lot more. I wanted to mention, you might have seen a bit of subliminal tea brand dropping. I love to include a little tea bag in an order. I find that like a really personal touch, and especially when you're sending like a cookbook or cinnamon toast, like something that people are going to read, it's kind of nice to like give them something to drink while they read it. And this is not like sponsored or anything because we're not there yet. Way too small for that, but yeah, I do occasionally contact brands that I 9 times out of 10 are already using or I would love to try, and they might send me some of their food or clothes, whatever it may be, in return for featuring it. And I don't know if you remember, but I had a little wind probably on Instagram about how we just don't have that many great tea brands available in Australia that have kind of nicer flavours. Since having that little whinge, I've remembered and rediscovered all that do feel that niche in Australia. The brand Madam Flavour, this is their Australian Morning Blend, is what I've been putting in a lot of recent orders. Also, it's really nice to have like something local, and Madam Flavour is a very local tea brand, family business, and I love their Australian Morning Blend and their Melbourne, I think, Breakfast Blend, which is glorious because it's like English breakfast with vanilla. I love vanilla in teas, vanilla chai. It could be in anything. I'm so there. But yeah, Madam Flavour, and they sell this at all sorts of places like independent supermarkets, but also Chemist Warehouse, Red Seal, which is a New Zealand company. They do great teas, and I particularly like them because the packaging is like super minimal. You just get a box that's exactly the size of a like row of tea bags, and the tea bags are in there, and that's kind of it. We love minimal packaging, and their herbal selection is lovely. Is it gonna play with you, Merlin? Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's still moving. It might just be your breath. Definitely dead now, Merlin. had 2 financial wins this morning. One was I got a full refund on something I ordered for the shop update, which is something new, something I've been trying to make for ages, and the quality wasn't right, and they sort of altered that without telling me before printing, and then I was like, far out, I've just spent a whole bunch of money on a crappy unsellable product. But thank God for customer service teams, right, who don't want to lose you as a customer and listen. And in the end, I haggled for a full refund. That's what I've got. Companies do really help you. I think growing up, like, just observing parents have like so much frustration with like telephone or internet companies that you're like, oh, you have this sort of learnt avoid them at all costs, don't bother, they never help you type feeling towards them. But my experience in like non-internet phone companies or like design fields, their customer service is exemplary, and really, like, a friend reminded me this year, which I think has made me step up and like haggle for what I deserve, is that like they're providing the service for you. So my like over apologetic like, oh, I'm so sorry for inconveniencing you. It's like, well, if you're paying money, like, demand you get what you thought you were going to receive, otherwise get a refund. And being transparent and saying like, I can't afford for this order to fold or whatever it is, gets you places. So the journey to adding like cool sticker sheets and a mug design and tea towels, all these things are still a work in progress, but hopefully 1 or 2 of them will be coming by the end of the year along with this calendar, which I'm really excited about. Photography style you might be a little bit surprised by, but I think it'll be cool. Why am I trying to eat while talking? I just went through and responded to all your comments on the last video. Thank you so much for the very warm reception after my break. And thank you to Danielle for recommending a book all about that like emotional transference in relation to food that I was trying to articulate in the last video. I was thinking about this morning and like trying not to get too down about it, get stuck in thinking about it in a negative sense, how more like negative emotions or just melancholy emotions or frustration or anger can like seep into cooking. And that can be really tricky and frustrating when you're in the business of making food for other people. But then I was like, hold the phone, Phoebe, because you're not you're not the only emotional transferring body in this exchange. Like, the person who eats food, I feel, brings their emotions to the table too, and that can like mitigate whatever you were feeling when you were cooking. This might sound a bit like doo-woppy whatever, but it's literally from years of personal experience of when you're, to take a like practical example, if you're really anxious, frustrated, had a bad day, then likely in the kitchen you won't be as present and you'll be more inclined to burn things, not chop things, and like with the most TLC you could ever apply, and you'll taste and smell and experience that in the end result. So I'm confident claiming it's a thing. But if we take this like 2 parties bring their emotional experiences to eating, that rings true at least when you buy like quite commercially made food, because it can be as sad or just like novelty and fun and enjoyable depending on your feelings and like vibe when you're eating it. But also, like, when I constantly experiment and make food for my family, they're generally pretty like, yeah, it's all good, Phoebe, like it's all the same. But when I've like really made a boo-boo and I'm had a crappy time in the kitchen and I'm not feeling it, and I can see that was reflected in whatever I made, the times that they're like, yeah, this was crap, is when they're feeling crap too. So the maker and the receiver, there's nothing positive really going on there, and so the food ain't really gonna save anyone's soul. Obviously, like, food can cheer you up if it's just standalone sensational. This isn't like a fine science of analysis, just some observations. I had a really good Zoom psych appointment yesterday afternoon as I was offloading the various like observations I'd made throughout the week. One of them was, I was talking about how once you realise that people won't value in you what they don't value in themselves, then it's like a wowee situation, and it can just shine so much clarity on who you felt judgment from. Because, for example, I was reading this book, My Year of Living Vulnerably by Rick Morton, and in this book he talks about men's mental health, and he talks about the reality of friendship as they pass 50. What's my point here? And I just think it's interesting to notice in other people, if they don't have a lot of hobbies, they don't have a lot of close friends, I'm talking maybe like older generations judging younger generations, but then you feel judgment on surrounding things that maybe they place all their value on, or are just not a priority in their lives. Like, noticing the mismatch in priorities and values can be very illuminating and sort of free you from feeling so personally, I don't know, attacked by them, or just feeling like you need to take it on board. Just another classic case of once you know where the other person's coming from, even if they don't themselves, because they haven't figured that out, just helps you, I don't know, just keep swimming, like Dory would say, and not feel so like affected or knocked about by things. Not that I feel the need to share my experience of therapy in huge detail, but I just thought I would say definitely the best decision and like self-helping thing I've organised for myself in my life. And the phrase like, if it gets tough, just keep going, like that's when you need to show up, and that's when you need to like just persist, is so true, because it's probably when you'll reach like peak vulnerability. And of course, vulnerability breeds connection. So showing up that time after maybe a session which you've brought up a lot of stuff and was particularly uncomfortable, even if you're like, not feeling it. Or maybe your critical self is like going like critical at everyone, including the therapist, your psych, whoever. I've forgotten what I was saying. But yeah, it's like the most important time to show up. And yeah, that saying's very true. I have so many scattery things to do today, but it's about lunchtime on Friday. It's gonna like rain from now all weekend. That sunny little moment of spring is popped off. Really appreciating the chance to wear short sleeves and show some luminescent skin. But yeah, I've got a bit of cooking, emails, a bit of writing up of various stuff.
You don't know what is it we're saying. You don't know, you don't care. All you know is honey that you're faking. You don't know, you don't care. We're all having fun, bathing in the sun. We're all building castles, castles in the sand. We're having fun, we're having fun. You don't know, what is it we're hiding? You don't know, it's not fair. All you know is, darling, that we're faking. You don't know, it's not fair. We're all having fun, bathing in the sun. We're all building castles, castles in the sand. We're having fun, we're having fun.
That test of chocolate babkas last night was horrid. I'm trying to figure out the best sort of sweet, pliable, good rise dough, and the best I've gotten was part of those cinnamon buns that I ate at the start of this vlog. But the thing with gluten-free baking, it really just gets my like perfectionist, like room for improvement side going, and I just want to try different things and push the boundaries of the recipe and see if I know better than a certain flour blend or recipe. But that's okay. It's very much 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And the one little step forward I did get last night was got super close to a really good moist crumb like vegan sponge. I think I just need to reduce the sugar and xanthan gum to make it less gummy, and we should be good for all sorts of vanilla or spin-off of vanilla gluten-free cakes and lamingtons. I think to transfer my knowledge that I've gleaned in this space, I'm going to like break it up into maybe episodes, and so I can share a recipe with you while I talk about what I've known, because I tried to do like a sit down knowledge dump and I was honestly falling asleep. I don't know how people do lectures. I just couldn't like see how anyone would watch it to the end, and I think making it practical as much as possible and showing you what I've learned in recipe form would be far more engaging. So I'm thinking episodes of like cookies, cakes, sweetbreads, regular bread, buns, that type of thing. But before I go, I just wanted to spruik the new recipes in Straightforward Edition 2, which is in my Etsy shop. Some of you have found it already because I've been spruiking it on Instagram. There are 8 new recipes in here and a new foreword which talks about the sort of space I was in when writing this book and the experience of writing it, and hopefully a more like mature, reflective look at my relationship to cooking. So the new recipes are all in the straightforward spirit and are so good. I've made them so many times, and hopefully they kind of make the wait while I restocked it worth it for those wanting to get another copy. So I'll just put them up on the screen. There's Nana's sausage stew, which is just so comforting and hearty. There's home-style black-eyed peas, which are great in like a nacho, Mexican bowl burrito situation, or just over rice in a super simple meal, or to like add a filling element to any sort of spread if you're sort of doing a clean out the fridge type dinner. We've got an artichoke, lemon, butterbean and dill tardig. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like a Persian crispy rice, which is sensational. I've grabbed a couple of recipes from those that I made for the big cookbook that I think will be a long game thing of trying to get published properly, but I can't just hold on to these recipes forever because some of them are so good, and so I want some of you to cook them. So I took the zucchini slice recipe, put that in there, and also crispy tofu with a creamy dill lemon caper sauce, which you might find in more traditional settings on like chicken or fish. Also sort of tastes like a tuna mornay. I don't know, it's just like a nostalgic blend of so many wonderful things. There's a cannellini bean soup with like a garlic parsley drizzle. Holy moly, like Italian provincial, super simple but so pungy and flavourful nonna-esque soup. I've put my favourite tofu scramble in there, which is like a bacon and eggy tofu scramble. It's so delicious. And then there's one sweet recipe for Monte Carlo biscuits, which I've got to say, they wouldn't usually be like super my cup of tea, just having sweet biscuits. I don't know, they just don't really crop up in like my appetite much these days, but the vanilla cream is so vanilla-y, and paired with a chia raspberry jam in this flaky light shortbread is epic. Woo me. Thank you for watching, Honey Bunches. I'll see you soon.
All I am is your friend till the end.